So today, I decided to do things a little different. I'm going to be covering a PC game and an indie game at that.
But Dave, Undertale is a huge cult hit that's seeing major internet success.
Shut up, voice in my room that sounds suspiciously like Dexter Manning. You see, lately, some of the best RPGs have been coming out to Steam. In 2014, Lisa the Painful RPG blew me away, and in 2015, it was none other than Undertale. Back in June 2013, Undertale launched a successful Kickstarter campaign. Asking for $5,000, creator Toby Fox managed to raise over $50,000. That's 6 times the amount he asked for.
Dave, that's 10 times, mate. That's literally the easiest equation you could get!
And finally, 2 years later, Undertale released to the world. Toby Fox single-handedly created nearly every aspect of the game, from the writing to the programming and even the music. In fact, the only thing he was helped on was the art. He received help from artist Temmie Chang, but even here he created most of the assets. Because he's a straight-up madman! Which is great, because it resulted in one of my favorite games of 2015. And with that, I want to put up a giant spoiler warning. Seriously though, if you haven't played the game, stop watching this video and go play it right now. I'll be waiting. Yep. Still waiting. Come on. Undertale consists of a world in which humans had a war with monsters. The humans won this battle and sealed all of the monsters deep underground. Many years later, you begin the game as your protagonist, who we'll call Baba, for some reason chooses to climb up a mountain, trips, and falls into a deep, deep hole. Like, seriously, you should be dead deep. And thus, ending the shortest indie game I've ever played. Fortunately, a pile of yellow flowers somehow breaks your fall, and with that, you find yourself stuck inside of a strange and dark cave. Upon exploring, you run into Flowey, a cute little flower who will teach you how to play Undertale. By defeating enemies, you can increase your EXP, which will in turn eventually increase your LV, or love. Flowey decides to share some love with us. And could you, take me on a date first or something? I'm not that easy. Flowey! What is this shit? In this world, it's kill or be killed. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, yes? Toriel appears out of nowhere, obliterating Flowey and saving you. Although, if this is a kill or be killed world, Toriel tells you she wants to help you out, so she takes you through the dangerous rooms, which immediately sets off a strange vibe with its uneasy and somber music. As a matter of fact, this was the first thing that turned me onto the game. After the Flowey encounter, this track helps set the tone for Undertale. It's peaceful yet sad and dark. It almost tells a story of its own. A story of a world where monsters have been trapped underground for ages against their will, and have been desperately clinging to the hope that one day they'll be able to break the seal trapping them and finally see the sunlight. Yeah, something like that. Toriel teaches you about the world you're in as she leads you through the ruins. First lesson, how to fight enemies. When you're in a fight, strike up a friendly conversation. Hey Dex!
Hey, what's up, Dave?
I heard you smell really nice.
Ah! Why'd that hurt me, you jerk?
I think I got this. So it turns out the fighting system in Undertale is completely different than other RPGs. While you can choose to fight and kill the monsters in the game, which will provide its own consequences, you can also use the Act feature to talk to monsters and spare them. So, now that we know that, we can get into a fight with a real monster, a Frogget. We'll go ahead and just compliment it and... Lesson 2, how to get past puzzles in Undertale. Toriel teaches you that you'll have to solve puzzles in Undertale, like super nice and simple puzzles. Then, vomitously WTF, I'ma kill you with spike mazes! What is with this place? Final test. Using your combined knowledge, Toriel now asks you to walk to the end of the room by yourself. Okay. Whoa! Jesus Christ, Toriel! So Toriel decides she needs to attend to some business and leaves you alone. Asking you to wait for her, she gives you a cell phone and... Let's try calling it! You can say hello, ask about her... Call her mom? Flirt with her? That's definitely the option. 100% that one. You could certainly find better than an old woman like me. You don't know that. As we're on our own now, we can finally actually fight enemies. Undertale takes the classic RPG mechanics of randomized battles with turn-based combat and turns it on its head. You'll mostly avoid fighting enemies by trying to find ways to talk them out of fighting with you. Meanwhile, enemy attacks consist of mini bullet hell segments, and as a personal fan of bullet hell games, I think this mechanic works perfectly. Each enemy has its own unique attack for you to figure out how to dodge, and it makes every battle both interesting and fun. Each save point you find fills you with determination to move forward, literally. And after solving multiple puzzles and getting into several conversations, you'll come to the end of the ruins and get a view of the monster city. So nowhere to go but forwards, where we'll find Toriel's home. Toriel goes on and on about how excited she is to teach you and how much she wants to teach you and blah 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 blah. When can I go home? I have to do something. Toriel heads into the basement where the exit to the ruins are in order to barricade you from leaving, and the only way to leave is to fight her, so you know what that means. Try to talk her out of it! Hey, could you please stop trying to kill me, please? It turns out Toriel has been trying to protect you. Apparently, every human who leaves the ruins comes to the same fate. They die! Some monster named Asgore will kill you if you leave. And with a knowledge bomb like that, I don't care, I'm leaving. And heading into the snow. How there's a full forest with snow and cliffs underground, I don't know. But what I do know is someone seems to be following me. Oh, I see that. Don't think you can hide, you spooky skeleton? Here you meet Sans, the joke-spewing skeleton whose name and font is named after everyone's favorite font, Comic Sans. He's helping his brother, Papyrus, also named after a font, capture a human, which, as fate would have it, you just happen to be. Look, I didn't choose this for you. I know it's hard to hear, but you're a human. As it turns out, Papyrus is a total goofball who really just enjoys puzzles, joking around, and specifically spaghetti. Like, really, really like spaghetti. His entire intent for capturing you is so he can impress the head of the Royal Guard, Undine, and then join the Royal Guard. All of this so other monsters will think he's really cool and he can make more friends. See that? It pays to be popular. Take that life lesson home with you. And if you already are home, then go outside. Papyrus's antics involve poorly made puzzles and trying to stall your progress by cooking you spaghetti you'll enjoy so much that you'll forget to progress in the game. As you pass from puzzle to puzzle, you'll come across a new set of enemies and hone your combat mechanics. You can choose to murder everybody, and, well, the game will literally let you know that you are a complete sociopath. I still did it. What? Eventually, you'll reach Snowed Inn, the first town in the game where you'll come to realize this is where all the monsters in this area live. In fact, if you kill them on your way to Snowed Inn, they'll no longer appear here, because they're dead. You monster! This is also where both Sans and Papyrus live, and if you try to leave Snowed Inn, you'll run into Papyrus. Papyrus wants to be your friend, but can't, as he's torn and needs to capture you. So, your options with Papyrus are to check his stats, insult him, or flirt with him? Holy shit, yes! Papyrus is bae. Papyrus will decide you can go on a date after he captures you, and will immediately start with his fabled blue attack. As it turns out, all you need to do for blue-colored attacks is not move, so this is pretty easy to avoid until it turns out it actually turns your soul blue. This means you can no longer move at will and are required to jump over his bullets. If you can manage to steer clear of these for long enough, Papyrus will decide to give you mercy and spare you. Accepting this, you can finally go on your fabled date with Papyrus and do things like check out his crib, hang out in his room, and get into a dating battle with him. And by besting him with your dating power, he rejects you and turns you down wanting to just be friends. That's okay. I can still dream about you, write about you, and watch you from outside your window. I know you'll change your mind once you get to know me better. Papyrus is still bae. Beyond Snowed In, you'll reach Waterfall, find a kid who starts following you in order to meet the royal guard Undyne, and have a conversation with Sans. He'll tell you a strange flower appeared and started talking to Papyrus. Papyrus has been wanting to join the royal guard and impress their leader, Undyne, and we catch Papyrus agreeing to help Undyne in any way he can. But Papyrus, we went on a date! Exploring Waterfall presents more puzzles and monsters to talk battle with. You'll also find better items to wear, like this dusty tutu, and... Hold on, it's Bae. So, what are you wearing? I'm asking for a friend. Fuck it, I'm lying to him. I'm definitely not wearing a dusty tutu. You're my friend, so I trust you 100%. I feel so guilty. In exploring Waterfall and talking to the various monsters living there, we discover a little more story. Humans, as it turns out, are far more powerful than monsters due to the power of their soul. However, if a monster were to get a human soul, it would become unfathomably powerful. We also find out that the only thing that can destroy the barrier keeping the monsters locked underground is a power equivalent to 7 human souls. It's with that power, King Asgore will be able to finally shatter the barrier. So that's why... Hold on, it's Bae again. You said you were not wearing a dusty tutu, so of course, I actually told her you were indeed wearing a dusty tutu. Oh no. Fuck! No. 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 Okay, I think we're good. 7 human souls and Asgore will become a god. 6. That's how many we have collected thus far. So, as it turns out, Undyne has helped Asgore collect 6 human souls, and all they need is one final one for Asgore to become a god and destroy the barrier. You. Undyne reveals herself in the most epic way possible and jumps into battle with you to take your soul. So, you know what that means. Run the fuck away! By doing this, you'll run away into the lava zone, Hotland, and the heat of the area will cause Undyne to collapse. Fortunately, there's a conveniently placed water cooler, and you can give her water to help her out, because you're just a swell person. If you're trying to complete the pacifist route in this game, you can now head back to Undyne's house where Papyrus will try to set you two up as friends. Because, you know, the whole trying to kill you thing, totally cool. I do that to my friends all the time. After this bonding moment, you can now count Undyne as your friend, and it's on to Dr. Alphys in Hotland. Dr. Alphys is Asgore's royal scientist, and has been watching your progress on a giant monitor in order to help stop you and capture you. But from watching you on TV, has instead become a huge fangirl. Except there's one slight problem. She made an entertainment robot named Metaton, who she'd reprogrammed to have anti-human combat features. She tried to disable those and couldn't. And now he's an unstoppable killing machine with a thirst for human blood. Yeah, I'd say you fucked up, Alphys. Welcome to today's quiz show. There's only one rule. Answer correctly or you die? Shit. The quiz itself consists of hilariously ridiculous questions, which are only possible to answer with the help of Alphys, who signs to you the answers. Making it past the quiz, you'll traverse through the Hotlands and continuously be stopped by Metaton, putting you in murderous versions of normal entertainment shows, like Cooking with a Killer Robot. In fact, one of the problems about this game is that it's already so funny and naturally well written that it's hard to do a show like this without pointing out things that are already funny. Fucking Toby Fox. Eventually, you'll fight off against a giant spider and come across the MTT Resort, a ritzy hotel with a whole lot of overpriced crap and 2 annoying teenage-like animals hanging out outside, literally selling you junk they found in the garbage. Bratty and Catty are alligator and cat besties, and they're so hyped for the destruction of humanity. This is how the world ends. Eventually, you'll find yourself squaring off against Mettaton X, an enhanced version of Mettaton, and discover all Mettaton wants is to become a pop star. So, in true Hollywood fashion, you destroy Mettaton and all of their dreams. Oh, also, Dr. Alphys will inform you that it's impossible to escape without killing a monster and taking their soul. In other words, either you have to die so the monsters can all get out of the underground, or Asgore has to die so you can get out. Finally, you'll reach the capital and new home. Here we finally start to learn some backstory to the game. It turns out Toriel was married to Asgore, the king of the monsters. Godzilla! Godzilla, no! No! Stop! Bad Godzilla! Bad! Toriel and Asgore had a son, Azrael. One day, Azrael heard a human calling out for help, a human who had somehow fallen into the underground. He helped this human, and the four of them became like family. One day, the human became incredibly ill, and their last request was to see flowers from their hometown village. But stuck underground, nobody could do anything. Upset, Azrael, the son, absorbed the human soul and used the power to cross through the barrier, taking the human's body with him. The villagers freaked out, thinking Azrael had killed the human, and attacked him with everything they had. Azrael walked away and back into the garden, where he died from these injuries in the garden. As a result, Asgore decided to kill every human who entered the underground so he could break the barrier. Meanwhile, Toriel hated him for this and left him, trying to stop humans from ever meeting with him and coming to their death. On our way to our showdown with Asgore, we meet up with Sans again, who appears in the shadows of the corridors to judge you. In a twist, he explains that EXP is actually an acronym for Execution Points, a way of quantifying the pain you've inflicted on others, while love is actually an acronym for Level of Violence. In other words, Undertale has taken two common video game elements, gaining EXP or experience points and gaining levels from this, and turned this on its head to be an incredibly negative thing. If you haven't killed anyone, you'll be able to pass by scotch-free. We find King Asgore in the throne room, which is filled with golden flowers. In talking with Asgore, he clearly doesn't want to fight you, but resigned, heads to the barrier for a final showdown. So it's time to decide, the monsters or you. I mean, Babe rejected me, so I've got nothing left here. You idiot. Flowey? What the f- Oh no. Oh no. Flowey? What? What is this shit? Flowey starts an onslaught against you, and all seems lost until you start calling to the human hearts Flowey had absorbed for help. In doing so, you're able to get the very souls he absorbed to turn against him and destroy Flowey. And all is good. Sort of. You'll have managed to make it across the barrier, but Asgore is now dead, the human soul's gone, and so too are the monster's hopes for leaving the underground. And there you have it. The dream to escape finally fulfilled, although there are two more possible endings. If you finish the game without killing a single person, you can now enter into a pacifist run. Here you'll end up deep in Dr. Alphys' lab, where you'll begin to uncover a few more dark secrets of the world. And by secrets, I mean some straight fucked up shit! First of all, in an attempt to understand the power of souls to pass through the barrier, Dr. Alphys discovered determination was what gave humans power. You know, what was keeping you going every time you saved the game? By injecting monsters with determination, she accidentally created these horrors. It's so cold. It's so... Dr. Alphys! What did you do? Also, they appear to be ghosts, like this... What is this? What is this? Oh, you also find out that the first human's name was the one you chose. Baba, of course. And that Baba and Azrael realize eating buttercups makes you really sick. You know, buttercups, like those golden flowers that saved you and are all over the throne room. So Baba devised a plan to eat the buttercups and have Azrael take their soul. Then, using their soul, Azrael would kill and take 6 human souls to break the barrier. And if you want even more info, there is another way. Genocide. As I mentioned earlier, you can choose to not kill a single monster, or you can choose to kill everything! Of course, doing this causes the wrath of Sans, who will now confront you asking you, do you want to have a bad time? Not really, if I'm being honest. By doing the genocide run, you'll find out that Flowey has been able to use save points just like you're able to. You're also forced to fight against Sans, who's trying to prevent you from completing your genocidal mission and will give you one hell of a bad time. He also breaks the fourth wall and understands you're using a save point and will count the number of times you attempt to beat him. There are plenty more hidden elements and secrets to the story, and it's up to you if you want to truly save the monsters. So, if you'll excuse me, I have some business to attend to.
Hey, Dave!
What?
You know what? I had a lot of fun doing this show. You're actually a very nice guy.